Okay, welcome everyone to another video brought to you by Chess.com and Daniel Rensch. Today we are almost complete with our series of Rook endings. Hopefully you've gone through the entire video series, and so now you're ready for some really masterful stuff today. Kind of joking, but seriously, we're going to start out today with some practical tricks and ideas. I like to call this practical ideas and tricks, actually. And what we're going to try to talk about are some positions from real games, some positions where we're going to use some of the ideas that we've learned throughout this whole series and watching these videos and try to put them into practice in some of our games and some practical situations. So we're starting with a position here that is, it's actually white to move right now. But the real problem starts now after white goes after this pawn, trying to equalize the situation so that he has a pass pawn to match your pass pawn on the outside. Now, what's interesting about this is that in the game, the player made a big mistake and figured that his outside pass pawn might be enough because it would be harder for this king to get to and the rook to guard because it's an outside pass pawn. So not bad logic, especially for a king and pawn ending. However, in rook endings, typically unless you get your rook in the most active or let's say the most accurate situation, it can backfire on you, even up material. Even if, let's say, black was right about trying to come down and push this pawn and right about the fact that his king would be much closer to this pawn than your king and rook are close to this pawn. Even if black was right about that, the real problem was that white still had no losing chances once he put his rook behind the pawn, because of the fact that he has no other weaknesses. To emphasize that, we're going to show that when this king moves, and even if white was to push this pawn, and let's say white was even to just give up this pawn at some point, one of the problems would be, let's say he doesn't do it yet, actually. Let's say he hides the king, and we push down, and now we reach that critical point, if you've seen some of the other positions we've analyzed, where if you push your pawn to the 7th rank, your rook is now stuck. And so if black was to do that, here's an example where white could even just give up the pawn as long as his king stays safe on the king side. To emphasize our idea one more time, the point is that black is not really threatening anything, because as soon as he touches the pawn, white will give check, the king will have to move away, and white will go back. White could even give a couple more checks if he wants to be annoying. But bottom line is the king has no place to hide when the rook and the pawn are together on the 1st and 2nd rank here. So even with an outside pass pawn, without weaknesses on the other side of the board, as we see here, white doesn't really have any problems.
We hope you enjoyed this video demo from Chess.com. Subscribe today to finish this video and get unlimited access to our full video library. Your membership also includes access to Chess Mentor, the most advanced interactive training tool available anywhere. You'll also get full access to the Opening Explorer, Tactics Trainer, and much, much more. So sign up today and get serious about improving your game.